Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg here in Las Vegas. Hank, it is day one of the regular season NFL. Green Bay at Chicago, beginning tomorrow night.
Yeah, be a good game. You know, a lot of the sharps like Green Bay in the game. I think Chicago's got a good chance because they've got a good running game. They can keep the ball away from Green Bay. They got good defense. They can take the ball away from Green Bay. And we don't know what's going to happen with the new Green Bay coach. And, you know, Rodgers hasn't played at all so far this summer. It'll be interesting to see that. It'll be a fun game to watch. Yeah. And there's some good matchups this weekend. Some teams that have great success opening day weekend in the past. Some certain coaches have great weekends, great records getting off. I looked up Kansas City's record the last 3 years. They're 10-2 in September under Andy Reid the last 3 years.
That's pretty awesome, and they're going up against a team that we just don't know what to expect with all the changes they made. That's interesting. I don't know that the Hurricane is going to. Well,
it's away from there.
It's away from there.
The only change is that Jacksonville didn't practice today.
Yeah, it's affected their practice, and that Hurricane's going to affect some games along the coast, but not
the Carolinas.
Yeah, it's going to be. Then what happened in the Bahamas? Prayers go out to those people. I mean, that's.
Oh, I worked in Freeport.
Oh, you did.
I'm very upset about it. Yeah, well, the Greek and I had a contract with the government there, and we had an office in the International Bazaar. I used to have to go over there all the time, and I worked over there for over a year till Jimmy messed up the deal, got too greedy. But he had a $500,000 a year contract with them.
Wow.
To promote the island of Freeport in the Bahamas, and we had an office there, and we had a suite in the hotel there, and those people were great to us, and I made a lot of friends over there. It's terrible what's happened.
Yeah, it's devastating. I spent a lot of time there, not business wise, but it's unbelievable what happened. I mean, they recorded.
Chris Dundee used to promote fights over there with a friend of mine named Jimmy White, who had a nightclub. And I knew Jimmy very well for years, and we stayed friends.
Wow. Well, say your prayers for those people, and somehow let's hope they can survive it. And there aren't too many casualties. It's going to take, it'll be years before they recover from that, if they do. Let's hope they do.
Yeah.
We got some big college games coming up this weekend. A lot of surprises last week. Some of the toughest beats. Everybody's talking about the Oregon game and the Northwestern game, the tough beats. And this week those teams come back and play again. And last night in baseball, wow, what the heck happened to the New York Mets late in that game?
They had no bullpen. Obviously. They've been losing games like that for the last couple of weeks.
Well, this
and by the way, Syndergaard and DeGrom have not pitched well either lately. That hasn't helped them very much.
Well, giving up 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, that was just absolutely incredible.
The third game they lost like that in the last 10 days.
Wow. This whole move to taking your starters out in the 5th and 6th inning because of pitch counts or whatever and using the bullpen. These bullpens they're terrible. It's across the board in the league. There's very few bullpens that stand up. It's maybe they've gone too far in that direction.
Well, the Mets were going along pretty good, and they just fell apart. They got 5 runs in the top of the 10th inning, and they gave up 7 runs in the bottom of the 10th. There's no excuse for that.
No. Well, any games stand out this weekend that you want to talk about?
Well, there's some good games this weekend. LSU against Texas, I think, is a great matchup.
Great matchup.
And Texas has a really good quarterback, and they're very well coached. So, that's a very, I think that's the best game of the weekend, although there's some other good ones, too. For this early in the season. And Miami's playing in North Carolina. I asked my friend who broadcasts the games what they're going to do with that game. And he says, well, right now they're planning on, it's North Carolina's home opener, and they're planning on leaving Friday night to fly up there. So far there's no change in plans. Yeah,
I think Dorian is going to make the changes for them if it hits. That's for sure.
Well, they're a little bit inland, but still, and Dorian, I think, is probably going to hit there in the next, like today and tomorrow, so that they may have gone through there by the time the game is supposed to be played, and maybe they'll put it off till Sunday.
Yeah, that could be. There's always some aftermath of rain and wind and stuff like that can really affect the football game, and so we'll have to see. It's going to be an interesting weekend in that regard. Yeah, there's a lot of great games in college football. You got the baseball pennant races, and that's exciting. And of course, the NFL starting is huge. The Ravens, who absolutely love to win preseason games, are on the road playing maybe the worst team in the NFL, the Miami Dolphins.
Somebody did a great cartoon. They showed they had the Miami Dolphins logo with a tank on it.
Yeah, they don't look like they're going to try very hard this year. I'm sure the players individually are going to work hard to try to keep their jobs and get contracts for the future and hang on in the league. I mean, not every job is guaranteed. Of course,
there's nobody left. They don't have any players left. They got nothing. I feel sorry for Rosen. They went out and made a deal to bring him there. They just traded away his top receiver and his only quality offensive lineman. He's got no protection if he plays. He's got nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah, a lot of times these guys come into the league and they don't really get the best draw. I mean, they went to Arizona and that didn't work out very well. This is another failing team he's on. We see that. We talked about the Houston situation. There's so many people now saying that Houston, and just as you said the other day on Monday, they are all in for this year and they're going for it. And they have a good opportunity because the other three teams in that league, in that division, are not exactly A-plus clubs that they could easily win this division. There's no question, especially with the protection now on the offensive line for their quarterback who got banged up real bad last year. And I think the Andrew Luck retiring sent the signal through the league: you better take care of your franchise quarterback, or you're gonna be up quick.
A lot of the Sharks are on Jacksonville right now because they have Foles and their defense is strong, and a lot of the guys are picking Jacksonville to upset over Kansas City. That number has dropped a little bit on Sunday, but some people give Jacksonville a shot now in that division.
Well, with Luck going out of the division, it definitely removes one of the leaders, and it does open the waters do part for them. The question is, will Foles play? When he's been away from Philadelphia under the scheme that Philadelphia ran, he hasn't been very successful. So the question is, will he be able to succeed under this scheme, or will the Jacksonville head coaches and head offensive coaches put in the scheme that he actually works well in? That's the conversation I've been hearing.
Yeah, well, I didn't like the way he looked last week in a preseason game. He's thrown into coverage quite a bit. San Diego, I think there were some high hopes for them, but they've got some problems. course, the big story right now is that Dallas, got their running back signed to the biggest contract. He got his way, and he got a 6-year deal. And when you put it all together, and so they've got everybody in. They just got to get the quarterbacks, although he's playing, but they've got to get him done by the end of the weekend, and then they'll have everybody signed. But he's going to play Sunday, and the word is that he's going to be limited to about 15 to 20 plays. They've already released that information. I don't know why they would do that, but he's I don't know how he can be ready to play a full game, and they're going to take a big risk with him if they play him anymore. He's had no training camp.
Well, he's been in the best possible place to work out. He's been down in Cabo San Lucas training.
Not quite the same.
I'm joking.
They don't have two-a-days there.
No, well, they do at the Cabo Wabo. They have plenty of two-a-days. Well, he got a lot of money. Jerry is a controversial guy, but he does know how to make money. He has the most expensive franchise in sports, and there's a lot of auxiliary money they make besides what being the Dallas Cowboys, and even though he paid a lot, I think he knows what he's doing. Like him or not, he's created a very successful business. So
he hasn't created a very successful football team since Jimmy left. In Switzer, they've won 3 playoff games in the last 14 years. That's all.
They have been a disappointment to their fans, and I know some people.
They do everything but win.
They do everything but win.
They still get a lot of press. A lot of attention.
The funny thing is about Jerry Jones. I'm talking about Jerry Jones, not really the Dallas Cowboys. The guy does know how to make a lot of money, and he's a lot of ancillary businesses. The Cowboys are his, that gets him the press and everything. But as a successful businessman, he sure knows how to do it. Dallas
but
itself,
he desperately wants to win.
Yeah, but he hasn't been able to do that. Well, a lot of people thought he should have got rid of Garrett years ago. A lot of people don't have a lot of respect for Jason, and I'm not sure how to evaluate him. They have a lot of talent, but Philadelphia is arguably the more talented team in that division this year. The Giants and Washington are quite a bit down, but they can pull upsets, but to win the division, I think it's either going to be Dallas or Philly.
That's stating the obvious.
I'm the master of the obvious. Yeah.
Philadelphia's probably got as much talent, maybe a little more than, the one weakness that Dallas has is they were 24th in passing last year. And I'm not sure they've improved their passing game. That's the question mark. If they get into a game where a team can put extra men in the box and somehow stop their running game, or at least contain their running game, and Dallas has to throw the ball to win, that's the one question mark with them. Philadelphia doesn't have any question marks.
Well, the only question mark Philadelphia has, and I think Philadelphia has the best offensive line in football, and Dallas is right up there with them. They're either second or third. But the issue with Carson Wentz in his health, can he play 16 games and into the playoffs without being hurt? That hasn't been. We haven't seen that happen yet. And now they don't have Foles behind him. So that's probably the biggest issue for Philly. For Dallas, after they got Amari Cooper last year, their passing game improved quite a bit. And they did lose Beasley, and that's tough because he was a great possession guy, tough player. They brought back Witten. I don't know what Witten's going to bring to the table. He was off a year, so I'm not too sure about that. What else did they add in the passing game, Hank?
Nothing.
Well, that could be problematic. There's
They also don't have a great center. That's the one missing link in their offensive line.
Speaking of centers, how much do you feel the Patriots losing their center is going
They say they have another guy.
Well, they got another guy, but the guy they had was really good.
He was really good until he got up against who was it that? Until they got up against the Rams.
Yeah, they eked it out.
The Rams. That who was it that there was a game where Brady completed the pass to Gronk, and that was about the only play he made in the whole game. He was getting knocked on his butt the rest of the game.
That was in the Super Bowl against the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams crushed the center. He had a horrible game.
Well, then there's some room for improvement if that's the case.
Well, no, he was great before that. I mean, he made the Pro Bowl for 3 straight years.
Well, Pittsburgh will be at New England. That's a Sunday night game, and that is a marquee matchup for sure. Pittsburgh.
I think what's interesting is there was the news that came out today that the Las Vegas sports books are going to take the biggest bath if the Raiders win the Super Bowl. They're at risk to lose something like $75 million in New England. But people like bet Chicago teams. But those are the 3 teams that put the books here at the greatest risk.
Well, I wish I was the bookmaker taking all that action on the Raiders. They have absolutely zero chance of winning the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
I don't like anything they've done in the last 8 to 10 months in player moves, coaching moves, anything like that. Yeah, I mean, lightning can strike, but
they had a good draft. I can tell you that.
I'd like to be the bookmaker taking $75 million in action.
Well, what example can I give you of? The hockey team.
Oh yeah, right. You're right. That's like I said, lightning can strike, but I think the bookmakers are also in great shape on taking action on Trubisky winning the most valuable player.
I don't. That's a prop that I have no interest in. But the Bears are getting a lot of money for the season to win the Super Bowl. Well, they were 12-4 last year.
Well, they snuck up on a lot of people. Green Bay was hurt the whole year. Minnesota played under what everybody expected. That is a very tough division. I like the Bear team. I think the quarterback is very questionable. Their kicking game is very questionable. Could they? Yes, that team is there's a possibility. That a whole lot better possibility than the Raiders ever getting there.
Yeah, well, the Raiders, it's all local money. The people who bet the hockey team didn't know anything about hockey. They just go to break. Last year, they didn't come close. They got knocked out in the first round. They're just following their hearts when they bet the Raiders. I mean, they didn't bet them because they knew anything.
No, I know that. I know it's all local fans rooting. It's like the Cleveland Browns. I just came back from Ohio, and all the people back there are Brown fans, and there's so many Super Bowl bets on the Browns, and I mean they have a roster that could cause a lot of trouble. They are put together very well. I don't know much about Freddie Kitchens and whether he's ready to be a head coach. I know he's offensive coordinator. He did a good job. Hank, you probably know everybody or more people than most. You know anything about Freddie Kitchens?
I know that he has very little experience. He had 1 year as an offensive coach, as an assistant, I don't think he handles himself all that well with the statements that he makes. And we'll have to wait and see.
And he's got a lot of egos.
I think, he's got a good defensive coordinator there in Williams. A lot of people thought Williams should have gotten the head coaching job there.
Well, I agree. I thought he should have also. I think that was a big mistake doing what they did. I think that was Baker's choice for head coach. I think he wanted Kitchens, and that's what he got. There's a lot of egos on that team for a brand new rookie head coach to handle. And Baker puts him in the spotlight in not a good way all the time. So there's a lot to go on there. I mean, a lot of people are pouring money in on the Browns to go a long way, and personally, I think I'd rather fade them than be on them.
Well, I think that most of the money that is betting on them to go over the win total, not so much to go far. That's where the money's going.
Well, I bet under 9.5, so that's where I stand with it. So
I don't blame you.
Hank, we'll talk again on Friday after we'll review the Thursday.
That's where the money's going.
Well, I bet under 9.5, so that's where I stand with it. So
I don't blame you.
Hank, we'll talk again on Friday after we'll review the Thursday night game and take a look at what's going on the weekend. Have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you.
You too, Jim. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And don't forget to register for a free play each and every day. Just go to the website and sign up.